And I'm here in Paris, standing underneath the Eiffel Tower with Auntie Ilversaro.
Why we under the Eiffel Tower? It's just like, get in.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we are uncovering 10 secrets it took years to find in PlayStation games. For this list, we'll be looking at Easter eggs and hidden elements in PlayStation games that were either intentionally hidden or simply went unfound for a huge amount of time. Did you discover any of these on your own, or did you find them on the internet and join the rest of us in a collective forehead slap? Let us know in the comments below. Before we continue, we publish content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. Newspaper article.
This got out of hand in a hurry.
In November 2011, when Uncharted 3 launched, players could have discovered a very minor detail in a magazine placed atop the bar of an in-game pub. The magazine headline read, "Scientists are still struggling to understand deadly fungus." 2 years later, players finally noticed the magazine and realized that this was, at the time, supposed to be a teaser for The Last of Us, which was announced 2 months after Uncharted 3 released. It wasn't until it was discovered by players that Naughty Dog announced that it wasn't meant to be a teaser, but rather an Easter egg. The Last of Us was scheduled to be announced in June of 2011, a full 5 months before Uncharted 3 dropped. This makes this detail left in Uncharted 3 not a teaser, but kind of a full-blown mistake. Drake doesn't take damage.
That's my blood. That's my blood. It's a lot of my blood.
The video game equivalent of "I knew that band before they were cool," a small community of gamers are adamant that they knew a seemingly hidden minor detail of the Uncharted series long before it was discovered. Not being officially unearthed until 2018, Jonathan Cooper on Twitter pointed out that if you look at the animations in the Uncharted games, Nathan Drake never actually takes damage. Whether he is grazed or the bullet misses him entirely, the red UI that was previously thought to be damage is in fact Drake's luck. It's not until his luck runs out and he is finally hit by a bullet that he dies. This was confirmed by creative director of Uncharted 1-3 Amy Hennig, and remains a very cool concept that took 10 years to be realized. Japan is number 1. "13 years after its 2000 release, players didn't think a fairly linear game like Final Fantasy IX would have many secrets left to uncover. As it turns out, Final Fantasy IX had an entire side quest that Western audiences didn't discover until 2013. Explaining the quest fully would take some time, but at the beginning of Disc 4, starting at the Tantalus hideout, players can go on a ridiculously obscure collection of 17 different encounters that will eventually lead to an end goal of receiving a Protect Ring. The side quest was actually detailed in Final Fantasy IX Ultimania, a book originally published in Japan in 2002, meaning Japanese players had been playing this side quest for more than 10 years before North American players knew about it. The Resilient Corpse.
Alright, this should only take a second.
The much-loved Half-Life had an underappreciated PS2 release which featured a cooperative mode called Half-Life Decay. In this co-op mode, players could have come across a corpse floating in some water. This corpse, unlike others, was totally indestructible and was only there as a prop. Or so we thought. It wasn't until much later that players discovered that the corpse wasn't indestructible, but simply had 3000 HP, 3 times more than a Gargantua. With around 600 swings of your crowbar, the players could destroy the corpse and be rewarded for their efforts with a drop of several snarks. Keeping Aerith alive. The eternal question of Final Fantasy VII for over 25 years has been, can Aerith be brought back to life, or can you simply stop Aerith from dying? Players have scoured the game's data to try and find answers, uncovering unused dialogue for Aerith post-death that has only fanned the flames of speculation. The theory that there is some major secret method to keeping her alive is as believed as a fan theory gets. In 2013, it was discovered that with a little trickery, she can be kept alive through till the end. As laid out by Game Trailer on YouTube on their show Pop Fiction, after leveling your party high early, the player must get their hands on a chocobo, remove Aerith from their party, and before the date section of the Golden Saucer and whilst on the world map, switch the first Final Fantasy VII disc for Sega Frontier on the PS1. This will glitch the map and allow players to traverse it in such a strange way that they can reach the northern part of the map. Switch the disc back for the second Final Fantasy VII disc, engage in a fight, and the game will load normally. The players will now have skipped a large chunk of the game, where they can now fight through the Forgotten City without Aerith in their party, beat this section, and then throw her back in for the rest of the game. Easter egg.
You have my personal assurance that I'm going to get you your money back, and the drugs, and I'm going to mail you the to those responsible.
Hey, I already know that.
Rockstar are out here taking the term Easter egg very seriously. A little while after GTA Vice City was released, players discovered that after heading to a helipad north of the city, going to a corner of the helipad and jumping through a seemingly inaccessible window, there was an actual physical Easter egg atop a plinth that read, "Happy Easter." Why a player would assume they can jump through the window is beyond us, and as for devious hiding places, Rockstar wins the grand prize. Hidden helpers. In 2018, 7 years after the game's release, a Twitter user by the name of Punk7890 discovered a seemingly impossible secret about Silent Hill 2 that has amazed fans of the series and gamers in general all over the world. After getting the secret dog ending of Silent Hill 2, an ending that requires the player have already gotten the 3 main endings of the game, and after following a set of encounters through the game, players can hold down Start, L2, Square, and L3 to get access to an incredibly helpful mini-map. Even crazier than that, players can press left on the D-pad, left on the left analog stick, left on the right analog stick, L1, L2, and L3 at the same time, and bring up the save menu. This is a save menu that players can use anywhere at any time. Arkham's Hidden Teasers. It's easy to keep a hidden detail secret when players aren't aware that there even is a secret. It's much harder to keep a secret hidden when players all over the world are trying to hunt it down like it's the Holy Grail. Arkham Asylum was well known for having a secret room that took players an entire year to find. The room had a map that gave clues for the next installment of the game. When Arkham City dropped, you can imagine how much fans were clamoring to find a possible secret and teaser for the next installment in the series. Still, it took 3 years for players to discover that if you set your console to the day the game developer Rocksteady were formed, you would get a message from Calendar Man who would drop hints about the next game, Arkham Knight.
Well, well, well. And on today of all days...
The Cardboard Man.
There was a hostile local.
Yeah, who the heck is that? 12 years after its release, a player discovered that in Resident Evil 4, after getting the enhanced scope for the rifle, going to a specific platform facing a specific direction, which by the way, was in the total opposite direction the player was traveling, and looking down the scope, you will see the cardboard cutout of a modern looking person dressed in a green jacket and a dark scarf. A Twitter user later pointed out that it was in fact the game's art director, Naoki Katakai. What the heck you doing out there, Naoki? Are you making some extra scratch on the side?
What are you selling?
The greatest Easter egg.
And I'm here in Paris, standing underneath the Eiffel Tower with Auntie Ilversoro.
Why we under the Eiffel Tower? It's just like
Trials Evolution should have been renamed Trials National Treasure because it features one of the most intriguing Easter eggs of all time. The game, released in 2012, had some extremely well-hidden inscriptions which needed to be decrypted. After they were decrypted, the player would unlock a new song in the game. Yay, new song. But wait! There's more. The song had hidden Morse code in its sound waves. It's sound waves, for God's sakes. The Morse code sent players to a website which featured coordinates for 4 major cities: San Francisco in the US, Bath in England, Helsinki in Finland, and Sydney in Australia. At these locations were hidden chests with keys. The keys each had a keyring of the Eiffel Tower, and at each was a plaque that read midday in the year 2113. First Saturday in August, one of the 5 keys will open the box underneath the Eiffel Tower. Looks like we're going to be waiting a long time to resolve this secret.
So is it this one or this one?
this.
This one, okay.
Yeah.
That exact spot is the point where in the year 2113, let's be honest, them, us, and sadly, all of the people we see around here, every single one of them is going to be dead.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.